The title of Heidi Gwinn-Morrison's speech is Positive Intelligence, the Art of Rewiring Your Brain. Today, Heidi will give you an overview of the dreaded saboteurs and the journey back to your sage. Heidi Gwinn-Morrison, Positive Intelligence, the Art of Rewiring Your Brain. Positive Intelligence, the Art of Rewiring Your Brain, Heidi Gwinn-Morrison.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. To begin my presentation today, I would really like for everyone here to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to think of your earliest memories. Go back as far as you can and try to remember your earliest memories. Try to recall the greatest moment that you ever experienced as a child. What were you doing? Who were you with? And how did it make you feel during that moment? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to take a mental snapshot of that child. Take another deep breath and open your eyes. Now, trust me, this will come in handy later on. Did you know that in recent advancements in functional MRIs reveal specific neural activities that emanate your thoughts or feelings? It's true. Studies now show distinctly different regions of the brain that house what they call your inner saboteurs and your inner sage. Saboteurs are responsible for generating negative emotions. They live in the brainstem, limbic system, and parts of the left brain. The sage lives in the prefrontal cortex and parts of the right brain, which generates positive thoughts and feelings. As a child, our sage is strong. I'm sure that you could really think hard and remember how you used to have that innate ability to empathize and show compassion and feel joy, or simply just bask in the delight of being creative as a child. Over time and in dealing with life's challenges, we begin to develop these saboteurs, which produce anger, anxiety, stress, shame, and self-doubt. I know that you've all experienced those things as adults. After each life experience, the saboteur part of the brain becomes stronger. And once you've entered adulthood, the sage is all but just a distant memory, something that you used to have as a child, but you just can't remember what it felt like to feel a lack of negative energy all the time. Saboteurs are tricky. They will tell you that they are your friend and that they are there to protect you. I mean, why wouldn't we want them around? We've worked so hard to build them up as our ultimate defense mechanisms. There are 10 notable saboteurs, and all adults have at least one or parts of many. There is the hyperachiever, the stickler, the pleaser, the hypervigilant, a controller, the avoider, the victim, the restless, and lastly, the hyper-rational. I'll bet that you've all figured out which one of those buggers hijacks your feelings and thoughts every day already. Society always stresses the importance of living a healthy physical lifestyle. We eat right? We go to the gym, etc., etc. But when do we find time to make the time for our health, our mental health, in making it a priority? It turns out that mental positivity takes a lot less time to achieve than you might think. There are simple daily exercises that can strengthen the sage parts of your brain that have weakened over time or have been completely lost so long ago. Some of these exercises consist of doing things like taking a couple of minutes to focus your laser focus on the colors around the stem of an apple, watching how much it shines on the top of it, noticing that there's greens and reds and sometimes yellows and spots. Or how about taking a few moments to just remember what it really feels like to breathe? I think that we all forget what that's like. We forget to take a good cleansing breath every once in a while. Our shallow breathing when we're too concentrated on something that unfortunately has, a negative impact. Or how about taking a few moments and try to listen to a distant sound versus a sound that is too close to you, and focus on bringing that sound closer to you and drowning out what's in front of you. Focusing on something as simple as the keys on your keyboard to touch while you're typing is something that is going to exercise your mental fitness and bring you to a more positive place, if you can believe this. My favorite game is one that I like to call Find the Gift. Now, you'd be astounded to learn how much positive can come from some of the most negative things that happen in your life. Now, I'd like for you to close your eyes once again. And I want you to think back to that mental picture that I asked you to take a little bit earlier. So put up your hand when you've got it in your head. Do you see that child? Right on. Place your thumb and your index finger together and shift them around with just enough intensity to feel the ridges of your fingertips up against each other, and just feel the ridges of your fingertips really carefully. So while you're doing that, take a deep breath. And I want you to remember that those are the same fingertips you had as that child in that picture, long before you were ever introduced to a saboteur. So congratulations, everyone. You've taken that first step to officially rewiring your brain.